The darkness continues.
Peace, folk, and welcome back to another edition of the Prophet of Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I am your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That is why your black asses are here. Now I'm back with another. And yes, good folk, the darkness does continue. And we are back in the courtroom of the Honorable Judge Kenneth King, or as I refer to it as, the King's Court. And today we're going to look at a case where a brother almost had himself thrown back into jail. Because you know, the Honorable Judge King, he lets these dudes out, especially when they're on some domestic violence type felony, and he tells them don't go back around this person, stay away, no contact order, etc., etc. And nothing crosses the judge more than when you do the opposite of that. When he tells you to stay away from a person or a place, he finds out that you're contacting these people or going around these people. There's a pretty good chance he will throw your ass right back in the hoots gal. So, on this episode of Dark Exodus, we look and see what happens when you come close to crossing the king. So, without further delay, let's get at it. And as always, fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Dark Exodus.
Well, all right. As stated, we're in the courtroom of the Honorable Judge Kenneth King, or as I refer to it as, the King's Court. And we're about to see a case, man. It's kind of odd, and it's going to jump all over the place. And I'll be stopping it periodically. But basically, you got a brother who's appearing on charges, and some of the charges have to do with domestic violence. And, you know, in these domestic violence cases, one of the stipulations of their bond is, you know, no contact with the complaining witness. But you're going to see here that it's a little topsy-turvy with this complaining witness. And this brother might have come close to crossing the king. But let's get at it. And as always, good folk, fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Calling case number 2305512201. People of the state of Michigan versus Corey White. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 2, weapons, felony firearm. Count 3, weapons, firearm, careless discharge causing injury or death. High court misdemeanor. Count 4, domestic violence.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drake with the people, P number 60249.
And good morning, Your Honor. Brian Brown, P80560, on behalf of Mr. Corey White, who is present and consents to having his hearing held by Zoom.
And there go his damn lawyer with this badass camera. But we continue.
Mr. White, please state your name for the record.
Corey White. Okay, what's your pleasure, Mr. Brown?
Your Honor, I have received some discovery. I've received some digital discovery and some paper discovery. However, I need some additional discovery in regards to some body-worn cameras that were from officers who were present at the scene. I did watch the body-worn cameras from the individuals who were there, and there were other police officers who were present. There's a one, Justin Turner, I need his body cam. There's a police officer, Corey, C-O-R-Y, Gordon. I need his body cam. And also in regards to other officers, there's a Nathan, N-A-T-H-A-N, LaBelle, last name L-A-B-E-L-L-E. I need his body cam. And there's a Joshua, J-O-S-H-U-A, Russo, R-U-S-S-O-W. I need his body cam. And those last two officers spoke to the complaining witness at the hospital. So I would definitely need their body cam to see the interaction between the complaining witness and those two officers.
So the brother is doing a pretty thorough job for his client. He's trying to get everything. He wants all the body cams, and he can't proceed unless he get all of those. He want to take a look at them so he can figure out what he's going to do as far as the brother's case is concerned. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Mr. Brown, could you repeat those names? You don't have to spell them, just repeat them.
Justin Turner, Corey Gordon, Nathan LaBelle, and Joshua Russo.
Okay, I got those. I will request those from the OIC today. I sent you everything that I had so far.
Okay. And Your Honor, we also would like to place on the record and let the prosecutor know that my client has been having a time, I guess, with the complaining witness.
Now, he was the first one to bring up this complaining witness. Now, I don't know if that was a good move necessarily, because he interjected this complaining witness who got this brother locked up in the first place. His lawyer brings it up first, but we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
She has been doing a lot of things, so let me start naming the things that she's done. I've spoken to my defendant, my client, for about the last week, and he's informed me that the complaining witness has went to Apple to get his phone unlocked, in which we need his phone returned in his watch, to get his phone unlocked to defraud his account. She has drained his bank accounts, his Chime account. She has sent numerous messages to people in his contact. She sent explicit pictures of him to multiple people in his contact. She has
Filed this report?
Yes, he's filed multiple police reports, and the police has instructed him, Detective Evans has instructed him that he will possibly pursue some of the charges, possibly, but as regards to her unlocking his phone and sending messages from his phone, the detective, which was kind of head scratchy to me, told him that the fact that she had the SIM card in her name, I guess the account was in her name, that she was authorized to be able to go through his email accounts.
Well, see, this is the problem. When you got the stuff in these women's names and y'all get into a scrap, or y'all get into a fight, or y'all split up, or you mess around and get arrested over some domestic violence nonsense, guess what? Stuff that's in her name, she's going to have control over, and she's going to be able to do whatever the hell she wants. Now, granted, y'all have seen me bring you enough of this stuff where they have these problems with these women, and these brothers mess around and find themselves locked up, and when it's not the brother back over there when he's not supposed to be, sometimes it's the woman trying to take pot shots at the brother's life, because women can be vindictive. Women can do all this crazy stuff for the simple fact that y'all have split up, and she's trying her damnedest to hurt you. So I don't know if what the brother's lawyer is saying is totally true, but I'm pretty sure it's not totally false either. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Changed his email login passcodes, his business accounts, and that he couldn't do anything about that. And she was sending messages to multiple people, his mother, his friends, his contacts, acting like she was him, saying, hey, this is Corey, and just saying some explicit messages.
Now, if all of this stuff is true, let me add this. If all of this stuff is true, the brother should probably have proof of it, whether it be, the text messages, a printout, from these people's phones where she sent these messages. I just think that stuff goes a longer way than, it just being said. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
That people called him saying, hey, what's going on? Or contacted him like, what's going on? Like, he was like, that's not me. That's not me. So she is in an attempt to try to lie, to try to continue to lie, to get him locked up so she can have access to his accounts, drain his money. She put his car, he had a vehicle, she put that in her name. She's just doing multiple fraudulent, illegal.
I'll say again, he should have provided proof of this to his lawyer so his lawyer can put it before the court. But we continue.
Activity, and then all along playing the victim. So I just wanted the prosecutor to know. And I also told him that I would contact the prosecutor. At the time, I didn't know who the prosecutor was. And I just recently got some discovery from the prosecutor. And I just wanted the prosecutor to be on notice that the complaining witness, for the record, in my opinion, based upon what I've seen, the screenshots I've seen, and speaking with my client, is a liar. She is doing multiple fraudulent and illegal.
Now the lawyer says he's seen some screenshots, so he should be capable of presenting them. But we continue.
Activities to my client, which I think needs to be investigated. My client has went to the.
What screenshots have you seen?
Excuse me?
You said you referred to some screenshots that you've seen. What screenshots? Screenshots of what? You muted yourself.
I'm sorry, she screenshots to her admitting to taking his phone to Apple, to the Somerset store, Apple store in Somerset Mall, to get his phone unlocked in order to gain access to his multiple accounts.
Now, this is pretty specific, right? So I don't know if this case has been put before preliminary exam yet. I'm not sure. So I'm assuming when they go to probable cause preliminary exam, they will have this stuff, which will help the brother's case, obviously. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Because I guess there was some type of, jealousy. She thought, I guess it all stemmed, I don't want to go too much into the case, but there was some jealousy, some insinuations from the complaining witness about my client, what he was doing, with other individuals. Took the phone to Somerset to get it unlocked. And then once that phone was unlocked, then there was just, from my client's perspective, in which I believe, there was just a lot of fraudulent activity happening from the complaining witness.
And Your Honor, I do believe that this is the case that the complainant is present on Zoom.
Oh, she's here. The person is here. So we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I don't know if she still is present on Zoom, but this is the one where I asked her to be present because she is alleging that Mr. White came to her home in violation of the no contact order.
Oh, see? Now he got out. He's under no contact order, but he's at her house. Now look at his attorney. His attorney is grinning. I don't know if y'all can see that over the y'all probably can't see him all the way because of the fair use banner, but his attorney is grinning as if he knew this was going to be said. And maybe, well, let me give his attorney the benefit of the doubt. Maybe his attorney may be setting the stage because he knew that this brother had been over there. Well, I'm pretty sure he knew. But maybe he's setting the stage. I don't know. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Miss English, unmute yourself.
Dark X.
Tell me your name.
Shauna English.
So, Miss English, is there any truth to what Mr. Brown has indicated about you taking the defendant's phone and getting it unlocked and doing all these things with it?
Your Honor, that is my phone. It was never his phone. So
Yep. See there? See there? But we continue.
I didn't have to take it anywhere and get it unlocked or anything. It was my phone. So that is false. I never took it anywhere to get it unlocked.
Did you access his accounts?
No, I did not. I believe I'm being set up because his ex-girlfriend, he showed up when he got out of jail. He was sitting in front of my house with his ex-girlfriend. Her and I have not a well past with him and with her and Corey. So I believe they're trying to set me up and they're in cahoots together. And she's probably doing it for him and making it look like me. But I don't have any of his information. I don't have his phone. The phone that he was using was my phone, so I have it. There is none of his apps on the phone. It has been wiped clean. When he got out of jail, he came right to my house. I called the police. When the police came, he tried to tell them that the car in my garage was his. I had to provide proof with a title with my name on it. It has never been in Corey's name. It is not Corey's car. So he lied trying to obtain it twice with the officers.
Now, if any of this, what this woman is saying is true, this dude is looking stupid right now because it's her phone, it's her car, but you're trying to get over there and recover it, even though you're out on bond and you're under a no contact order, which means your black ass shouldn't be over there anyway. Even let's say it was your car and was your phone. Let's pretend it was. You're under no contact order, so it doesn't matter. You're not supposed to be there. Period. You're not supposed to be there. Yeah, it's your stuff and all of that, but guess what? Your ass is not supposed to be there. I don't know what's wrong with Negroes. They get these no contact order from these judges when they get out of jail, but for some reason, they feel the need to go where the judge has instructed them not to go. I just don't understand it. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
And I feel like I'm being set up here. And I question my safety because he has access to everything. He lived here. So he knows which windows don't lock. He knows, I don't know if he has extra keys. I'm not exactly sure.
Stand still, sir.
Stand your ass still, Negro. What you moving around for? And see, this is what happens when you live in her house. This is what happens. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Stand still. Unmute yourself. Sir, you showed up at the complainant's home?
When I got out of jail, my tether agent told me, when I made him aware of what...
Did you show up at her house? Yes or no, Negro? See, you always know when a Negro is in the wrong and he knows he's in the wrong. You ask them a clear yes and no question, and you don't hear yes or no. You hear an explanation. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
It happened. Basically, like I told you when you held my bond hearing, I told you that I was made aware on the 10th that there was a jail call that was made, which they are recorded. There was a jail call charge for GTL for $7 that came out of my account. On the 10th, I was on the 10th when that call...
doesn't answer my question. Let me try it again.
Because see, the Honorable Judge King is only going to entertain BS, but for maybe about 3 minutes. He says that does not answer my question. I'm asking you, Negro, did you go to the residence? But we continue.
Did you go to her house when you got out of jail?
My tether agent told me to take a peace officer to go get my stuff. Yes, I did.
You didn't come with I'm sorry.
Sir, I told you no contact, and you told me you understood what I meant by no contact. I don't care what anybody else told you. What did I tell you?
Hold on, wait. When I was there, I said I was not. I had no animosity because you say it would seem like it would be What'd you say?
What did I say, sir? Did I say no contact?
You told me not to contact her, and I didn't. The peace officer told me to told me to call an officer. I called 911, and I did exactly what the sheriff said.
No, you were at my house before the police even came. I called the police. You were sitting in front of my house for 30 minutes.
I made a police report, and when I made the police report, I went right there. When I got out, the first place I went to was the police department on 7 Mile in Woodward. I didn't go straight to her. I went to the police department on 7 Mile in Woodward. I filed the police report about my money being missing, and through talking to an officer as well, called my tether agent. The tether agent said as well. He said yes. He said he was like, yes, I did arrange for a peace officer, and I did arrange for him to pick his things up because he made me aware that his items were being sold and stolen.
Who is the tether agent?
Pete's or Perez. I can't remember exactly how to explain his name. How to pronounce his name. But they called him right there on the spot, and I gave them all the information. And he said yes.
The information. You gave the officer the information. Give me the information. I want to talk to him.
It's kind of hard to believe, right? Because I hear this brother, he studied talking, right? And he's basically saying that even though he had a no contact order from the judge when he got out of jail, he's trying to say, because obviously he was on a tether, because he speaks of a tether agent. And those of you who watch enough of this crap, you know a tether is like a GPS thing that they put on their ankle so they can keep track of them. He's saying that the person responsible for this tether on him told him get in contact with the police, and then the police told him he could go to this woman's house, which he knew he was not supposed to go because the judge trumps all of that, trumps all of them, because he's under a no contact order. But somehow he thought that he should be going over there. Now, he may not realize this, but he's got one foot back inside of the jail, because the Honorable Judge King does not play that. If he tells you no contact, the last thing you want him to find out is that your ass is back where he told you not to be. Because I remind y'all good folk, the Honorable Judge King is a felony exam judge. Everything that comes through his court are felonies, not misdemeanors. They're all felonies that can get your ass up top for a while. So if he let you out, you're out under certain conditions. Tether on, no contact, all of that. All right? The conditions are binding and strict, and you are subject to be thrown back in the hoots gal if you go against them. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Okay, hold on. Let me grab my paperwork. Hold on 1 second. The officer's name is Pete, I believe it is, 313-875-4647.
And you say this person told you you could go there in violation of my order to pick up your stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Well, like I said, yes. I'm just gonna keep it really simple. Yes, I told him what was going on. He said, as soon as I put this tether on you, you need to go to the police department, and you need to turn around, and you need to have it. You need to call them the police department.
Now, do you good folk believe he told the agent that he was under no contact order, and the agent still told him to go over there? Do you believe that? Do you good folk believe that? I don't know if I do, but we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Let them know that your stuff is being stolen. Let them know what's going on, and ask them for a peace officer to meet you there so you can get your items. This was after the victim called my mother and everything and said, "Hey, can you tell Corey to come get his stuff?" Which I have those text messages, which I can send to the prosecutor as well. And she lived.
Now notice the woman in the top right corner. She's not saying anything. I mean, she's shaking her head, but she's not chiming in. She's not like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" She's not doing any of that. She's shaking her head, but I mean, she's standing mute. She hasn't said anything the whole time he's been talking. I don't know if that's an indication of guilt or innocence, but she's not saying anything while he's talking. There is that. Make what you will of it. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Literally said, can you tell Corey to come get his stuff? I called the peace officer. They showed up. I gave them all of the paperwork. They called my officer right there on the spot and talked to him. That's why I wasn't arrested, because he told them that I did make him aware that at that very moment, my stuff was being stolen and being used. And they told me to get a peace officer to get my stuff. She did not, I was parked 3 houses down. I was not at the home. I was 3 houses down, waited for an officer to show up. Didn't even get out the car.
It's a disconnected number.
It can't be. His name is Officer Perez with the Sheriff Department. Hold on. Let me make sure I gave you the number correctly. 313-875-4647. That is what's on my paperwork from the Sheriff Department. No, it's 875-4647. Yep. I had a whole hour-long conversation with him before I even walked out with my tether. Told him what was going on. He said, call the police department because I asked him.
He's like, be quiet. You're giving me a headache. Shut your ass up, Negro. And I do mean shut your ass up, Negro. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. And god damn it, Negro, change that damn battery in that smoke detector. Sheesh. How do you people live in a house where that thing is going off every 4.5 minutes? Really? Come on, man. But we continue. And Judge King calling too. He want to make sure this Negro is on the up and up. Is this number for real? But peep the woman again. Like I said, she's not saying anything. She's not saying anything. She's shaking her head and I guess doing some mumbling under her breath, but she's not chiming in. She's not saying anything. She spoke a piece earlier. She has not said anything, which is kind of odd because in these kind of cases, when you see this kind of stuff, then women be, like a damn cackling hen, but she's not saying a word. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. Making another phone call because he want to make sure this Negro is telling the truth. What do you good folk think? Is he telling the truth? Or is he telling a half truth? But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. And his lawyer isn't saying too much of anything either. He just kind of testing the wind right now to see what's going on with the Honorable Judge King. His lawyer isn't interjecting either. He's just kind of, seeing which direction the wind is blowing. Not saying too much of anything, which is probably a good idea. But we continue. I just don't know why these brothers, man, they can't stay away from these women, man, even though they done got arrested over these women. They can't stay away. Man, screw that car. Screw whatever else you got over there, man. Stay the hell away from this woman. And put a battery in that damn smoke detector, too. Get a battery, man. Just buy a pack of them. That's what I do. I buy a pack of them. As soon as I hear that, man. Beep. 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 Every damn 4 minutes. And y'all heard it. And it's the brothers, too. Because the white girl, her line is muted. It's him. Either that or it's the courthouse. It's either the courthouse that need a 9-volt battery and a smoke detector, or the brother's house. I don't think it's the white girl's house.
Corporal Pikes is answering his phone. It's going to voicemail.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. The only reason that this might have been construed is because during that proceeding when me and you were talking, I made you aware of the money being missing, and you told me that your concern was that if it was you and your stuff was being stolen, you would feel like it would be unfinished business. And I told you I work for a living. I don't care about nothing. I don't care about getting anything from her or anything. All I wanted from that house was my tools and my property, and you said that's fine. So that's why I called the peace officer when I got out, and that's why I had the conversation with Corporal Pikes when I got out.
The thing is, sir, I told you no contact. I didn't want you going over there. And you went over there.
And Your Honor, if I can, it may have been some misunderstanding on my client's behalf, because I know I've talked to my client at least prior to this hearing at least 15 different times about this, and I've instructed him to call the police, and he's told me he's called the police multiple times before this incident in regards to the allegations that he's stating that the complaining witness did, Your Honor. And to his defense, I don't believe that there was any ill will. I believe that he may have got some incorrect information from individuals who did not know about your order. This is my client's first time being in a situation like this.
Here comes the cleanup. Well, Your Honor, there might have been some miscommunication. He might have got some wrong information, Your Honor. He probably didn't understand, that he was instructed not to go there, but he was speaking with the agents and they told him to go there. So this is why he was over there, Your Honor, even though you gave him a no contact order not to have his black ass over there. It's basically what his lawyer is trying to say. He's word salading, a little bit, but, here comes the cleanup. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
So he may have thought and I know your honors, your word is over, with the police officers or the tether officers or whoever says you can go over there or to call anybody to collect your stuff. Your word is trumps everybody. And he didn't really understand that, Your Honor. He thought that possibly maybe that the police officers instructing him to call or the tether officer instructing him to call a peace officer might have been, you know, contradicting to your words.
This
And
is
he
precisely why I have the no contact order in place. And
absolutely.
what they're talking about, his property and all that, some of it may be criminal, some of it even may be civil. But to avoid these kinds of confrontations and you guys taking up my time, this is why I said no contact by third party or anyone. And that's what I meant.
Absolutely, Your Honor. He understands that. I mean, 100%. I was unaware that he went over there with an officer. And Your Honor, I can tell you from my word, I mean, I believe it would never happen again going forward. He completely 110% understands that he can't even go over there with the FBI, the Secret Service, or the CIA. I mean, he can't go over there with any type of.
They said the FBI, the Secret Service, or the CIA. Yeah, he's laying it on thick now. This is the cleanup. Yeah, this is the cleanup, but we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. And the woman is still not saying anything. She's not jumping in. She's not, blaring anything out. She's quiet. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Accompaniment over to her residence for any type of reason. I've already instructed him that some of the things may be civil, some of the things he may have to sue her on, some of the things may be criminal. Just like Your Honor just told him, I also told him the same things, Your Honor. So he's completely aware of that going forward, Your Honor. And I believe that there'll be no more misunderstanding whatsoever on his part, on anybody. Well, I can't say on anybody's part, on his part and our part. I can't say so much about the complaining witness, but on his part, Your Honor, there will be no contact through anybody, a third party, a fourth party, or even a fifth party, Your Honor.
I heard enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, you're good. Okay, so the only positive I can draw from this is that he did go over there with the police, and he didn't go over there to confront her himself, trying to regain whatever property he belongs to.
Now, you see the woman shaking her head. Now, I don't know if she's shaking her head because she can kind of sense that the judge isn't going to slam him, or possibly she's shaking her head because she believes that the brother is lying and see his lawyer is word salading, so she can't compete with that. She's not an attorney, so maybe that's why. But still, she's not saying anything. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
So I will grant him that. And the number he gave me was to an officer Pikes, a Corporal Pikes.
Yes. And on top of that, he gave the judge a number. The judge called the number. It was the number he said it was. So the brother isn't looking that bad right now. Now, he almost crossed the king, but it seems like he's not looking that bad anymore. Listen to the judge's tone. He's like, yeah, he did call the police. The number that he gave me, I called this number. It is who he says it is. So now the brother's looking better. Now it's calming down. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
So I believe that there's some validity to his story. That being said, the court is going to continue by with the stern warning, Mr. White, you are to have no contact whatsoever with Miss English.
Now, the judge is telling him now, stay your black ass from over there. Stay your black ass from over there, Negro. Now, he good now. The judge ain't going to throw him back in jail because, he can tell that, there's a little bit of truth mixed in there with the BS. The judge has figured that out. But he's telling him now, look, stay your ass from over there, Negro. All right? Stay from over there. Now, if he go back over there again, the judge gonna throw his ass in jail. But as it stands now, he's good. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Miss English, if there is some business going on your behalf, if you are doing things to interfere with his business or his livelihood or his personal items, beware, you may find yourself standing before me charged with the crime.
Now you see that. He also warned the woman that, hey, if any of this crap that this brother is saying is true, your ass might be standing in front of me. All right? This is why I like Judge King. Judge King does not play favors when it comes to these men and women. The same stern warning that he gives the brothers, he will also give the women. He doesn't play favorites, and he's not a simp, and he don't freaking show an exception to you because you're a female. Absolutely not. You heard what he told her. If any of this crap is true, your ass will be standing in front of me. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Okay, you all get off my page.
We need a stage.
He's like, y'all get off my damn page. The judge want everybody off of here now. You, your lawyer, this white girl, all of y'all get y'all asses up out of here. Get on up out of here. But we continue.
Your Honor, when should we return?
We said this, Mr. Brown.
Yes, we would like an in-person preliminary examination.
Okay, I was right. This hasn't went to preliminary exam yet. Now, do you good folk believe that this woman will show up to the preliminary exam? And something tells me that if she does, it will be a doozy. Right? Now, of course, all this stuff has been written down. So hopefully what this brother has been saying is true. Because when he comes to the preliminary exam, this might be brought up again. And it absolutely positively will be brought up again if this woman shows up. Now, I've showed y'all enough of this stuff that if the complaining witness does not show up to the preliminary exam, what happens? The case is dismissed without prejudice. But if she happens to show up, all of this, which have taken place here now, will be brought up again. And I do believe, well, I watch a lot of the Honorable Judge King stuff. He's like my favorite judge out of all of the ones that I record. So I'll probably be looking for it. Yeah, so look forward to a part 2 to this. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Let's set it for about February 1st at, no, that's not a good date. Sorry. February 8th at 10:30.
Okay, y'all heard it. February 8th at 10:30. So we might just stream it. I'll make y'all this deal. We'll stream it if the woman shows up, because then it'll be good. Because if she doesn't show up, Judge King is just going to dismiss it. I mean, y'all know how this works. If they don't show up, he just dismisses it without prejudice, because the district attorney says, well, I can't proceed, I don't have the witness, et cetera, et cetera. And Judge King doesn't give the DA a second chance. If he signs it for a preliminary exam and that complaining witness don't come, guess what? He dismisses it. I've seen him. Because sometimes the DA be like, oh, Your Honor, can we get it adjourned? He'd be like, nope, your witness ain't here, case dismissed. So, if the woman shows up, we will stream it. Good folk. So mark that on your calendar. February 8th, part 2, if it's good. If the woman shows up. If the woman don't show up, we ain't doing it. All right? But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
That is a good date and time.
That's in person in 36th District Court, okay?
All righty.
See you then.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Sorry about the confusion.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Black.
All right. So, what do you good folk think about this? But I've talked to y'all about this before. These brothers, they get locked up, all right? They get out of jail, right? And the judge says, look, no contact. That means no physical contact, no phone calls, no social media, no messages, no texts, no smoke signals, no carrier pigeons, no messages in a bottle. No contact, Negro. And what do these brothers do? They turn right around and go back to where they're not supposed to go under a court order. And I say again, Judge King's court is a felony exam court. So if you're in front of Judge King, you're probably staring down state time because of the charges that come through his court, because he doesn't do misdemeanors. This is a strictly felony court, no misdemeanors. So if you're in front of Judge King, you're probably facing some degree of time if you get slammed with these charges. So that being the case, if you got a felony exam judge telling you to stay your ass away from there, what you need to do is stay your ass away from there. I don't care what's there. I don't care if you left a box there with $100,000 cash in it. I don't care if your most important documents are there. I don't care if you left your prosthetic leg there. I don't care. The judge has told you no contact whatsoever, let alone no phone calls, no text messages, no email, no social media. You damn sure don't want to get caught at the house. Because like I always say, when it comes to Judge King, he's a very fair judge. He's probably one of the most fair judges that I've seen, given the charges that come before this brother. All right? He's very fair with brothers, even though they coming in there with multiple felonies. But one thing you don't want to do is cross the king. Because if you do, he's cross your head with that legal sledgehammer, and he makes it hurt. So the brother got off, man. You know, I mean, he got off. You know, he was able to tell some truth. The judge was able to verify said truth, so he's good to go. And I guess we'll see him on the 8th. I guess we will see this brother on the 8th, and we might see the woman too. Who knows? But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there, man. But before we get out of here, it is now time for T.P.O.T's bonus clip. Yes, time for a bonus clip, because you know I always have one of those for y'all. And I know that we were talking about crossing the king, but this one isn't as bad. This brother here, y'all might remember him, but we're gonna roll it, and I'll give y'all a refresher as we get into it. It's not that long. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Okay,
Is that Marcus Walker?
Yeah.
yes, Your Honor.
Bring him in now. Why isn't he here?
Your Honor, mix up in communications, but he's trying to get on Zoom. I'm
Now, this brother here, he was supposed to be here for this preliminary exam, but you heard his lawyer. There was a mix-up, some wrong information, et cetera. His lawyer's cleaning it up for him. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Let me try to see if I can put him on my phone. Oh, he's on the screen. Okay, good. We're ready, Your Honor.
Ready for what?
Okay, the brother is on the screen. He is on the screen. And you heard his lawyer said there was a miscommunication because Judge King wanted him to come into the court. But he's not. He's on the Zoom instead. That's another thing you don't want to do. If Judge King tell you to bring your ass in his courthouse, he expect you to show up there. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
What are you ready to do?
It's my understanding no witnesses are here moving for dismissal.
Defendant's not here either.
He said no witnesses are here. He said the defendant is not here either. But we continue.
Your Honor, if the court would waive his appearance, and in terms of physical appearance, he's on Zoom. There was a mix-up in information.
I hate when the lawyer is like like, come on, man. It almost becomes a song after a while, right? It's like but we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
That's on me.
Well, at least the lawyer has the wherewithal to say, hey, look, it's my fault that he's not here. All right? At least that. If your lawyer screws up, he need to admit it so you don't look bad. Because what's going to happen is the judge is going to look at you and be like, hey, what the hell is going on? But your lawyer then gave you some crossed up information and you don't know what's going on. So, because you the one that's going to get the warrant swore out for you to be arrested, not your damn lawyer. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Calling case 2260897, people of the state of Michigan versus Marcus Anthony Walker. Defendant is charged in count one assault with intent to do great bodily harm, unless murder or by strangulation. Weapons, firearms, possession by a felon. Count 3 assault with dangerous weapons. Count 4 assault with dangerous weapons. Count 5 felony firearm.
Now, why does the lawyer, if he's in the courtroom, why the hell does he still have the Zoom open? The brother is on the damn line. Like, but we continue.
Count 6 felony firearm. Count 7 felony firearm. Count 8 domestic violence. As an official for the court.
And the brother got like 8 felonies he's facing down. 8 of them. Y'all heard that. 8 of them. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Green for the people, P number 60249.
Joseph Dillard, P 37225, on behalf of Mr. Walker.
Why are you on Zoom, Mr. Duke?
I was thinking the same thing. Why are you still on the Zoom? The brother's up here. But we continue.
Sir, because my attorney, sir, had told me that
I had this. I'm on Zoom because just in case I had to communicate with him, but I'll shut it off. Your Honor, today's the date and time set for preliminary exam, requesting that this matter be dismissed without prejudice.
Dismissed what?
Your Honor, there's no witnesses present.
That is true, Your Honor. The complaining witness in this case is in Emma last week. Was notified of the hearing, she was not present, and I cannot proceed without her.
Okay, y'all heard that. The district attorney said they cannot proceed without the witness, all right? So, of course, we already know I'm dismissing this issue without prejudice. That's what the Honorable Judge King is going to do. But listen, we continue. Fair use, Negroes, fair use.
What's your name, sir? Mr. Walker, tell us your name.
My name is Marcus Anthony Walker, sir.
Mr. Walker, why aren't you in court?
Now, even though the judge is getting ready to dismiss this, he's still asking this Negro, why you don't got your black ass in here? And y'all might remember this brother because I did a story that he was part of, because I remember him. So let's go to that right quick.
Mr. Walker. Sir? How old are the kids?
Oh, the kids are 8 and 11. I have the number for is 595-0313.
Mr. Walker, you seem to really love these kids.
Yes, he does. He can barely keep it together. His babies are in foster care. And you can see that the brother can barely keep it together. And guess what? The judge can see this. This, good folk, is humanity. All right. So y'all remember who this brother is now, right? But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
My attorney told me it was February the 20th, not January the 20th. And he just had called me a little while ago and asked me why I wasn't in court. And I told him he gave me the wrong date. And so I said, the best thing, I know I better do something. So I got on Zoom and I called down there.
Matter's dismissed without prejudice. The matter is dismissed. No complaining witness, it goes away. And the brother had, y'all remember, he had 8 felonies. 8 felonies. They all go away now. But even with that, the Honorable Judge King still wanted to know why you don't got your black ass in court. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Thank you, Your Honor. And my apologies to the court.
Till I bring your paperwork out.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
And the brother's still sitting there. I don't even think he grasps the fact that all 8 of his felonies have just gotten dismissed. I don't even think he's grasped that. Yeah, all 8 of your felonies just went down the toilet, brother. You are a free man. He's sitting there, he worried because his lawyer told him the wrong information, and he knows Judge King do not play. So he don't know what to do. He don't know what to do. But those 8 charges have been dismissed. I don't think he's grasped the reality of that. That's why he's still sitting here. Yeah, the brother don't realize that he is now a free man. 8 felonies have disappeared just like that. Which they always will. If that complaining witness does not show up at that preliminary exam, Judge King is dismissing it. He is not letting the district attorney adjourn it. Nope. He want those witnesses there. Your lawyer's there. You're there. The prosecutor's there. If the witnesses are not there, the defendant, is out of there. But even with that, I mean, he does not want it to appear like you crossed him. The because I say again, Judge King is a pretty fair judge. And it's unreal how fair he is, because the stuff that I see come across this courtroom, man, murders, homicide, double murders, arson, burglary, robbery, you name it, kidnapping, I mean, really, really hardcore felonies come in this court. But he still treats brothers fairly. He treats them fairly. And he'll give them a chance. You know, long as their record ain't too, you know, if they don't got too many convictions and felonies on their record, he'll let your ass out of there. Don't screw up, though. Don't screw up. Don't freaking act like you don't respect what he's saying, because you will feel the legal wrath if you make an attempt to cross the king. But that's all. I appreciate you good folks, man, coming through, man, checking this out. You could have spent your time anywhere. You decided to spend it here with T.P.O.T, and it is appreciated. I don't take you good folks lightly, man. I never have, and I never will. You got my word on that. So, with that, I will leave you good folk with 3 words. You know, like I always do. Open your mind. Peace, folk. X with another.
The darkness continues.
Only